So beside me here, I have a 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks here in Oxford White. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. In front of me here, I have the 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks here in Oxford White. Now, I gotta say, I like the Outer Banks trim because it's going to give you these circular LED daytime running lights at the front and a leather interior. But let's take a look here at the front. So like I mentioned, you're going to get these circular LED daytime running lights with this horizontal light. You're also going to get LED lights. Now, as we carry into the center here, you can see we've got the Bronco name in white. You've got a black out grille here with a camera at the front to encompass your full 360 camera. You've got your plastic bumper there with parking sensors, as well as your LED fog lights, two recovery hooks there, and you're also going to get a skid plate a little bit here at the front, but that is plastic. Now, you also can get a modular metal front bumper, and you also can get a Sasquatch package that's going to give you 35-inch tires, but in this case, this one does not have it. Now, another cool thing here at the front are your trail sights here that you can tie things to with a maximum load weight of 150 pounds. And it is nice to have those there because if you are off-roading, you can kind of see where your fender lines up. But that is really it here at the front. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the engine of choice. So taking a look underneath the hood here of this Bronco Outer Banks, we've got the 2.3 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder producing 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque, mated to the 10-speed. Honestly, just looking underneath here, it looks like there's a decent amount of room to put a V8. I personally wish when they did the Bronco Raptor, they put a V8 in this vehicle. I mean, even just giving people the option to have a V8. I got nothing against the 4-cylinders, but I just really think that putting a V8 in here would do the Bronco more justice. Let me know what you guys think. That's underneath the hood here of this Bronco Outer Banks. Let's take a look around it and go over its options. So let's take a look around the Bronco Outer Banks here, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on an 18-inch wheel, Bridgestone tire. The tire size is 255/70 R18. We've got that brushed aluminum face with the black insert with the Bronco logo. You can get a 35-inch tire with the Sasquatch package. You've got the plastic liner inside there. Then you also have this body matched fender here, which I think looks good. You've got the Outer Banks logo here, but I kind of wish it was like a metal. Honestly, it just looks like a fridge magnet just by looking at it here. I also like the fact that they put the mirror on the cowl near the A-pillar as opposed to it being on the door, because if you take the door off and the mirror was on it, then you have no mirror. So I like the fact that they put the mirror here. You have a camera here also underneath for your 360 camera. And then here's a side profile view of the Bronco. Now, one thing that I also wish they did is body matched the door handles. Like, I really just think the plastic look just does not look as good. You also have a plastic running board there that is fixed, but it does have keyless entry on the front two doors. And then here is a look as we open it up here. So it's kind of got this like two-tone with some gray and black. I like the fact that they put the Bronco there in the seats themselves. They're very nice and plush. You've got your seat adjustments here, nothing here on the door sill. And then this is what the dash looks like. So it kind of is almost a soft touch here with some grayish white stitching. Bronco there. You got a handle here. Now it looks like they added this handle here, which is a really nice thing that they did. Instead of grabbing maybe on the door or here, you got a handle up here to grab, which is nice. And then you have a lot of accessory ready areas here, but we'll get into that side once we get onto the driver's side. But overall, from a passenger point of view, I think it looks good. Door panel, kind of soft touch, but more plastic. Again, very easy to clean if you go off-road. And the doors obviously can come off, and then you got some mesh here as well. Then we'll close this here. The back looks like here of the Bronco Outer Banks. So we'll take a look at the door panel here. All soft touch here, but mostly plastic. You got some mesh here to store things. Nothing here on the door sill. And then this is what the seat looks like. So again, two-tone of the black and gray with some stitching. Now the seats can fold down just by grabbing this lever here. It almost creates a flat floor here. But again, this is kind of going to give you a glimpse of what it looks like. Then you have to kind of heave on it to put it back up. And then inside here, you're going to get your window controls, vents, 2 USB-Cs, and a 120. No cup holders here. Now, it is a 60-40 split, but when you do put this down here, you're going to get some cup holders as well. Now, this one does have the sound deadening roof liner here for the hardtop, which is also nice to note. And you're also going to get handles to help you get in on both sides. But I'll show you guys how I would get in here as someone who's about 5'11". All right, so hopping inside, you've got your running board to help you get in, as well as this handle. So getting inside, very easy. The seats are actually not too bad. I would say the bottom part of the seat is a little bit more comfier than the back, but you know what? It's not too bad. There is probably about 2.5 to 3 inches of headroom back here. Again, I'm about 5'11". The seat's in a good spot for me to sit. It's kind of curved a little bit as well, so I can comfortably sit back here. You don't really have much though, to be honest. There's really nothing here. There's no heated seats or anything like that for the Outer Banks. And I could see 2 people being comfortable back here. A third person, it's going to be tight, but the headroom's not bad. I mean, these tops can come off anyways, so I mean, you know, you could do Flintstone style where your head could pop up if you're a little bit taller, but overall that's really it. And then to get out, obviously you have your handle and the running board, but let me know what you guys think. All right, so that's it for the back here. We'll shut the door, and then here's a look at that back tire and wheels. So same dimensions here on the back as it is in the front, with that plastic liner inside. And then you can also kind of see the frame here. Again, this is based off the Ranger. But that is it for a side profile view. So in the back here of the Ford Bronco Outer Banks, we can see we got a full-size spare here. We've got a camera right here for your rear camera. We've got that Bronco horse there on the right, and then we got the Ford badge on the left. We've got your parking sensors down below with one recovery hook. Now here is also a glimpse of ground clearance when it comes to looking at the Bronco. So you can see your exhaust port there. For ground clearance, it's actually not too bad. I always recommend getting the Sasquatch package though if you are going to off-road. Now you could tow about 3,500 pounds with the Bronco. Now we can also see you've got your LED tail lights. Now this one here does have keyless entry in the back. You can lock it and unlock it. And then to open it up, all you do is grab it here and it will open more than 90 degrees, which is nice. And then this will also open up just like this. Now in the back here, you do get a decent amount of room. You've got your 4 tie-down clips in each corner in the back. You've got a pocket of storage here with a light here and a light here with a 12 volt. And then you also have speakers here at the top. Now this whole back of the roof can come off, but here's a glimpse of what it looks like. And then also how the door and window opens. And then we'll close it up just like this. And then you can grab it. There's a little tension here, but it's very easy to close. Now, I also do wish that for standard purposes, they gave you a metal bumper, but you still can get a modular metal bumper. But that's it for the back here. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. Just want to say thank you to Kitchener Ford here in Kitchener, Ontario. Go see my boy Connor. He'll hook you up with a great deal on one of these units. All right, so taking a look at the back seat here on the Bronco Outer Banks. The door panel looks the same here, soft touch here and here, but mostly plastic, very easy to clean. Handle here, and then you've got some storage as well. Nothing here on the door sill, and then this is what that seat looks like, so we'll move this up, and then you could see here we've got that grayish two-tone with black and some grayish stitching. And then over here again, your window controls, vents, and then you've got USB-Cs here and your 120 plug down below. And then also, like I mentioned, this whole part can come off. You've got your handle to help you get in. But overall, that is really it for the back here. All right, so taking a look inside the Bronco Outer Banks here on the driver's side. So again, soft touch here, and then here where your arm will lay for the door panel, door handle, lock and unlock, some mesh storage here, and handle here to help you get in. Nothing here on the door sill. And then here are your seat adjustments. And then this is what that seat looks like. So again, gray with black with some grayish stitching, but nothing too fancy here for the Outer Banks. And then over on the left side of the steering wheel, you have a handle here to help you get in with the Bronco name. Then you've got your light controls here. Now the steering wheel is telescopic, but it is manually adjusted with this lever here. You've got your parking brake, and then here's your hood open release here. Now again, they put these handles in here, I believe for 26, because I didn't see them in 25. Very useful to help you get in, especially if you don't want to use this door or this handle. I think this will work very well. But that is it before we hop in, guys. Let's talk about the interior. All right, so we are inside the Ford Bronco Outer Banks here. We'll start with the steering wheel. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel here, as we can see. We've got the Ford Bronco badge there in the center. On the left is going to be your Ford Copilot 360. So you got adaptive cruise control, lane centering, you know, your gap adjustments there. You've also got your volume buttons here too. On the right side is going to control your front infotainment there. So if you hit these 3 lines, it's going to go to your main menu, and then you can cycle through the different modes you want to be in here in the center. So if you hit my view here, one thing that's really cool, if you go into the off-road status, when you turn the wheel, I don't know if you guys can see, the wheels in the animation actually move. So that's really cool, and it tells you the degree of how much you've turned. So I think that's really cool that they did that. I would really enjoy that if you go off-road. But then you can hit this back button here. Then you've got call hang up, call pickup, voice command. And then your tuning knobs here. But you can cycle through, your Bronco information here. So it's just going to depend honestly on the user. Now you do have a different go on any terrain modes, your GOAT modes. So once you cycle through these modes, it's going to give you an animation. So you got normal, you've got slippery, eco, sport, and off-road, and it will put you in 4x4 depending on the mode you're in, and it will put on your front camera here. So really cool. On the left side here, we've got your toggles for your wipers. Now we don't get any heads-up display here at the top of the dash, but we've got 3 speakers, one here, one there, and then one over on the passenger side. And then we've got 2 USB-C plugs there. Now you also can plug in something here if you want to showcase something at the front or you're going off-roading. Now, like we spoke about, there are your trail sights. So we get one there, just nice to show kind of where your fender is going to begin if you are off-roading. And then over here we have your trail turn assist, traction control, and hazards. And then over here we don't really have much, we just have that Bronco name over on the passenger side. Now over here is your 12-inch display screen. It works very well, very intuitive. You just can kind of click the hotkeys down below here. You can also load your map with this little arrow onto the bigger side of the screen and then cycle through whatever info you want on this side. So you have your off-road status as well, or if you want to click this, you can use your finger if that works better. Now if we go to audio, we have your Sirius XM radio. We can go to sources, got Bluetooth. It does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can hook up your phone. You've got different applications here as well. You've got your settings, features, zone lighting, driver assistance, all that fun stuff. So very easy to control. We've got your push button start here. I also like the fact that they've given you climate control buttons. And one other cool thing is they actually given you the digital temperature gauges here instead of having it into the screen. I like it here just in case the screen lags or fails. It's nice that you actually can control your climate control here. We've got dual zone climate here in the Outer Banks with heated seats and a heated steering wheel. This here is your camera button, and they've given you a high quality camera system, and you've got different angles of approach angles depending on which mode you want to be in. We'll click that back. We've got your auto stop start, parking sensors, volume tuning, and then here are your other tuning knobs there. And then this is how you control your fan speed. Now we don't get a wireless charging pad in the Outer Banks, but we do have other plugs here. You got to kind of open it up from the bottom. It's a little bit of a pain, but you got USB, USB-C, and then more storage. We've got the designed and engineered by Ford in Dearborn, Michigan, USA, built at Michigan Assembly Plant. So cool stuff. We've got your shifter here, and then we've got your reverse camera with your 360 camera with cup holders, and then here your go on any terrain modes, which we were clicking. We've got your off-road cruise control with your 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low 4x4 settings. You've got your window controls here, and then this is actually your mirror control. Instead of putting it on the door, because like we said, if the door comes off, you're not going to be able to control your mirrors. So just by clicking this R here, once it's lit up, you're going to be able to obviously change your mirror selection. And now for the center console area here, I would say is not as big, but it is deep. You've got 2 more USB-C plugs and a 12 volts. And I would say that is it, and it is lockable. Now up here, the only thing we have are your light controls. And then you've got your mirror as well with your sun visors. But that is it for the interior, guys. Let me know what you think. Let's go outside, give you guys my final thoughts, and talk price. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks here in Oxford White. We're sitting at 71,625 Canadian. Let me know what you guys think about the full-size Bronco in the comments. Curious to know if you'd rather go with this or maybe a Jeep Wrangler. I personally would probably go with the Bronco. I just think it looks better. But let me know what you guys think. This concludes this review, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. So let's talk price. 2026 Ford Bronco Outer Banks here in Oxford White. We're sitting at 71,625 Canadian. Yeah, I do think that that is pretty pricey for a Bronco, well, SUV in general. But I personally would rather go with the Bronco than maybe a Jeep Wrangler. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about the review in the comments. Curious to know if you'd rather go with the Bronco or Jeep. That'll conclude this review, and we'll see you in the next one.